compatibility is everything.
Yes.
Because if you're doing it right, that second marriage, particularly if you're over 50, this
should be your life. Yeah, this should be your life.
The person that you die with.
Right, this is the person who's going to be burying me. I'm going to be burying them.
They're going to be picking up your
medicine
from the store,
going through
getting your depends,
elderly life,
throwing your depends in the trash can.
Right. Hey, we're back. It's the 811 crew. I'm Ulysses, Slugger, Glenn, and Jake. Nope, this is not Jason. This is we have Sharifa Elam.
Standing in for Jason today.
No, she's not standing in for Jason. We're just continuing.
Adding a better perspective.
Adding a female perspective.
Well, also what we're talking about, like the only perspective at this table that is married over 50.
Right. So
we're
remarried over 50.
We're talking. Yeah. We're going to do a part 2 of the marriage over 50. We thought it was such a good topic. We like Sharifa. So we're like, all right, we'll bring her back. We miss you, Jason. So it's the 811, 420, 522 crew.
Right.
But no, seriously, we were having a good conversation about being married over 50, dating. And I think we kind of left a lot of things out. So when you guys did get married, since you were older, do you all have kids? Does Anzi have kids?
Anzi has kids. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how old are his kids?
His kids, oh my God, is it a Jeopardy question?
They're old. They're
You're
adults.
a stepmom.
They're adults.
The first one, yeah, they're all adults. They're all out of the house.
Okay.
And so I really lucked out because not only are they out of the house, but they're good kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Because if you remarry and the person has children, they're younger children, and they can usually range around teenage years.
Yeah.
And that can be very difficult. I mean, that can be, they can resent the new parent. They like their old parent. And depending how the divorce was, if it was something, if you happen to be the side piece and you became,
Where did that come from out of the blue?
Like Camilla Harris, she's a side piece. She's elevated side pieces.
Well,
Camilla, what's her name? Camilla.
Did you say Camilla Harris?
Not Harris. Camilla.
The queen and consulate,
yeah,
or whatever they call her.
Yeah, she's like the ultimate side piece.
She's that. Did they get remarried after 50? Were they over 50?
Yeah, they were over 50.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because he's like 70.
You were so not into the queen.
but Camilla, but literally Camilla is like she gave side pieces like
a boost.
A hope.
Yeah, hope.
Okay.
Because,
all right.
I mean,
all right.
Can we
Yeah.
can we get back to talking about
something that is
relevant to us, like
interesting? The shade.
The shade is coming.
So how soon was it that you met his kids?
I met his kids maybe a couple of months after dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, it was a pretty, I guess they were like...
But again, they were older. I wasn't the first woman that he dated after he got divorced.
Which is good.
And so, and like I said, his kids just want what's best for him.
That's probably, they want him just to be happy.
Yeah, I really, really lucked out.
Yeah.
I have a question, though. So, if you have been married and you're divorced and you're over 50 and you start dating someone, do you get serious a lot faster because you're older, or do you go through that same kind of courtship that you did when you were in your early ages?
Yeah.
Do you speed things up at all?
Okay, so I can only talk from my perspective. From my perspective, I, within the first couple of months of dating Anzi, started to see that, wow, this is really, really a good dude. But then I had the verification process.
Right.
Gotta
verify.
You gotta verify because you think you see something,
Exactly.
but like, do you really see it?
Exactly.
Is it him? Is it you? Did you have too much wine?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on?
He was a lot cuter yesterday.
So you have to go through the verification process, and he exceeded my expectations. Actually.
Right. You know what else I think it is? I think when you're over 50 and you've been married, like you immediately know when somebody isn't rubbing you right. Like you
Right.
immediately know,
You
like,
know,
no,
yeah.
I don't, like, you know yourself better.
Yeah.
And so you know the things in your personality that are going to get along with someone and that are not going to. Because, like, I know I went on one date and he was doing something I thought, oh, there's
Yeah.
no way I can ever be
Yeah.
comfortable with this.
Yeah.
So,
Now, you can,
And you know what, Ulysses, you said something in our last segment that was really true, which is living with someone.
yeah.
Because for me, I would not have gotten remarried had we not have lived together first. Because compatibility is everything.
yes.
Because if you're doing it right, you know, that second marriage, particularly if you're over 50, this like no
Should be your
stuff
life, yeah. This should be
may
your
be
life,
the
yeah.
person that you die with.
Right, this
Right.
is the person who's going to be
You know?
burying me. I'm going to be burying them.
This is
They're
the
going to be picking up
person,
I'm helping them
your
with their
medicine
depends.
from the
you know,
store,
going through
getting your
your
depends,
elderly life,
throwing your
you
depends in
know,
the trash
so,
can.
Right.
So to segue that to your earlier question, Sydney, which is, you know, do you go quicker? You know, in some ways you go. For me, in some ways I went quicker in like realizing what I had, but in terms of like understanding whether or not I should marry what I have, I literally needed that compatibility score, you know, checked off, and in order to do that, I had to live with him.
Right,
I
right.
had to see who shows up
Right, right.
when, you know, something doesn't go your way.
Right, right,
Who shows up when I'm tired and I don't feel like cooking dinner.
right.
You know, who shows up.
Or when you're just in
Or-
a mood and you just don't want to be around someone.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, what's the work-life balance? What's the delineation of responsibilities? How do you travel together?
Well, I was going to say you all travel, like a lot of us have FOMO because you all travel a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, not
Oh, it's
just
amazing. No, it's
not just to like little like Cancun places. Y'all travel exotically.
And
but
they do like I'm like I would have been tired after the second day.
I know,
can't
I
go
know.
anywhere else. Like I'm not gonna climb Mount Kilimanjaro. We just did deep sea diving in Antarctica. This is
and
literally-
seriously, that is literally what
that's
y'all
right.
do.
I'm like, didn't I just see them on a
Weren't
mountain
they-
yesterday?
And weren't they like skydiving?
skydiving?
And then weren't they eating coffee that was made out of
yeah, like literally.
poop? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Poop.
I'm like, okay, it was the best. Like, I want you guys to travel more. It's great to see the pictures.
Right,
Yeah.
but you also realize though, because like even your female friends, you can't, like, you and I travel. You can't travel with everybody. We know that you can't
you
travel
can't.
with everybody.
No.
So the people, like, especially at this age, and especially if you have to share like a room or a room in a house or
I
something,
don't share rooms.
Oh, yeah.
and a beach house.
Unless you have a vagina, I'm not sharing a room with
Okay. Anyway,
Then there's that.
then there's that. But you know what I mean?
I'm too old for that.
It's really hard to travel with everyone. So to see you all traveling so well and having fun together
Yeah.
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is-
I'm
it's-
happy. I'm always happy.
Yeah,
for you.
I'm
It makes
actually-
me generally happy when I see your
Yeah.
pictures.
I'm actually very happy for you. Like, I'm happy for both
Well,
of you guys.
okay, so you know, one of the things that you guys should consider when you're looking at, you know, do I get remarried, is, you know, travel.
Travel. Well, and do you all doing things that both people
Right,
that
right.
You
Because
all
we-
have a commonality.
We're
But-
all
but
over
he's-
50,
yeah.
and you know, we've got what 20, 25 years
Yeah.
before things start to shut down.
Yeah, right, that's true.
You
yeah.
know, you're not going to have the mobility.
I'm sorry, my stuff is not gonna shut down.
Okay, not shutting down. Okay.
I was like, what are
I'm
you
talking
talking
like
about?
I'm talking
Shutting
like
down.
so
What
for
was she
example,
talking about?
I think she meant-
I've been on 5 liveaboards, which is where you go on a boat and you're scuba diving
Oh,
5 dives a day. But I've never been on a cruise. And I always say
Really?
I haven't
no,
either.
I'm going to go on a cruise when I turn 80. Like
See, I've
that's
been on-
what I'm going to do.
I've actually
okay?
been on cool.
I've
so,
never been on a cruise either.
Really, I've been on. So when I was when I was married, I used to go on the Disney. I took my son on the Disney.
All right,
cruise.
if you had kids, so that's different.
Yeah, Disney
because,
cruise.
you know, just to see
Right,
their
right,
face.
And then
Yeah.
when I've taken my son, I've taken my nephew, like for spring break, we've gone. Like when you have like teenage
I'm
kids.
talking about a
cruises are-
grown and
I've ne-
sexy
I've never-
trip on a
I've-
cruise.
I've never been on one of those.
Yeah, that's
Like-
like for when you're 80
That's what
and 90.
SBC should do. We should
No,
all.
No,
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 because
especially now.
Sharifa is going to jump into the
No.
ocean and go
Because
scuba
the
diving.
cruises.
'Cause that's-
The reason I've never taken a cruise is because I feel like I'd feel confined. Like I
Yeah.
can't get off.
Yeah.
It's not
claustrophobic
that.
almost.
It's the thing about the crew. I just feel it just feels dirty. Like it's the same recycled water. It's not like there's water
Yeah.
pumping in.
Yeah.
It's like this, like so you wonder why people get sick. Like they've had COVID on the cruise ships for 20
Yeah.
years.
Oh my Lord. Yes.
Like I think like no.
Yeah.
But it's good that you like compatibility, doing things together. You know, it's good that you guys both like exercising outdoors.
Yeah.
Which is, to be honest, especially as a man, finding a woman that likes doing outdoors things
Yeah.
is very. It's
not common.
It's not common.
And I didn't realize that until like SBC started.
Yeah.
We go camping and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, doesn't everybody go camping?
Yeah.
No.
I'm from Michigan,
Yeah,
so-
see, I'm from Ohio, so
Yeah.
we went.
We went
me,
camping.
but it's you. And I hate to kind of stereotype, but if certain ethnicities, certain ethnicities are definitely not outdoor people. I mean, they tend not to be.
Yeah.
And as a person who's dated the
Rainbow Coalition?
the rainbow of women.
Well, you are from Ohio, so
I have as I said, whole tendencies. I used to have. So
What did we say in the last show? If you slept with over or how many people have you slept with?
5,000.
5,000.
Like, were they an escort? Pretty woman?
But we did determine, because we're over 50, what did we say the benchmark was? Oh, if you slept with like 10 people a year,
Yeah.
we're over 50, so that means that number is
But we can't.
over 100.
But I also said I don't think we should count. For me, I don't want us to count my years between 18 and 27.
And I said that's invalid because you can't like just sweep it underneath the rug and act like it didn't
Why are you
happen.
saying because you were married and
No.
had kids?
No.
I was.
Oh, because you were.
saying-
Oh, because he was.
I was in college, and
That's
So
the
he's
whole.
saying
That's the whole point,
that's
though.
the
but the problem is that women kept throwing themselves at me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I was like, wow, man, that's too much.
Oh, and you just
I had to say, yeah.
this. I mean,
God.
I
oh
had
my
to succumb to it.
God! Like she's
What was I gonna
trying.
do? What was I
gonna
do?
do?
She just was in my
you know?
room.
So
I mean, would have rather she put a gun to my head.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I'm not Wilt Chamberlain, but I'm not.
Wait, how many people?
Wilt Chamberlain slept with? He said 20,000 women.
How do you keep track of that? Do you think he actually
Well,
put a little check mark or had a little book or something?
Maybe his agents.
He probably.
Oh,
Well, you know what? I know. I wonder if he was like, what's the guy, Hugh Hefner? He used to record all his.
Oh,
like,
my
so
dear,
I
really?
watched the Playboy, the behind the scenes.
I watched that too. I don't remember he recorded.
Yeah, so he has tapes of everyone.
That was
That's so
fascinating.
It was
dirty.
unbelievable.
I was just like,
I was like, wow. I just like the magazine for the articles.
Isn't
I
that
didn't-
illegal?
Well, I think back then you were at you were at his house, and I think you were in his room. So there was so much going on there.
Sounds kind of rapey to me.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
he
say,
may. I mean, we don't know how he was taking it. It could have been a guy with a full camera standing
No.
right there.
And the girls didn't care.
And it was Hugh
but,
Hefner, you know.
but when you watch the series,
They did have a series.
There's a
on it.
whole
Well,
series
if it
about-
was
yeah.
Lenny
The girl
Kravitz,
next
I'd be
next
like,
door.
yeah, and you found out like that was interesting. I'm sorry we get off topic, but it was a
They were
great,
over 50.
it was a great series, but I think you're not really considered. I think the whole when people start calling people names about their sexuality, it should be based on more than 20,000. Like if you did more than Wilt Chamberlain,
Oh, that's the benchmark.
that's
now?
the benchmark. Wilt Chamberlain's going to be the benchmark.
You know why that's the benchmark? That's the benchmark because he could satisfy it. Okay.
Probably.
Right. He's like, oh, let me
like-
give him a benchmark that I
Right.
could actually
that I could maybe
do
attain.
well
What,
in.
what was the guy that just hit the home run stuff? I could probably
Okay.
get to that record too. Let me see. How much time do I
But no, like I said in the other segment, like I've never asked any woman I've dated. I've never asked that question. It's never even.
No.
Okay. All right. Fact check.
Okay.
You meet a girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's fabulous. You're really digging her.
Okay.
You talk to 3 of your boys, and they're like, such and such hit.
Wait. Has he hit it already, or he's?
No, he hasn't
Okay,
hit it yet.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, that's irrelevant.
Okay.
First of all,
But and you hear from several of your friends that she slept with several of your friends.
How are they my close friends?
They're people that you believe, regardless of whether
And
or not
let's
they're
just say
close.
they're in your inner circle, but maybe not in your but you see them. They're your friends.
Acquaintances.
If they're
Okay,
my
okay.
acquaintance, if they're my friends, I would have already known.
All right, threshold. 5 acquaintances. If 5 of your acquaintances. Acquaintance is defined by, it's a dude you see out in the social circle of DC. But you've never
I
went
could care
out.
less.
Never really.
See, that's why I don't think that's the threshold.
care.
I think it's somebody that is.
It would have to be say, but I do have 2 friends that one of them is dating someone, and so the 3 of us were hanging out, and I didn't know. Did I know? I think I knew the other friend had been with her. So this person, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell him. And, well, he didn't even say that. He just blurted it out, and we were sitting there like the 3 of us, and I was like, I wanted to say I didn't know, but I clearly knew. But for guys, I don't think at this age, and if you're a confident man, you're like, especially for me, I'd be like, you don't have what I have, so I don't care. So if it was that, if she was really that interested, she would have stayed.
Can you all get my face, please?
Really, I'm Ulysses. So I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, really.
Shay, you're just quiet. I know what you want to say, but you're not going to say.
I wear a size 13 shoe. I got big hands.
Oh my God. Okay, can we have another topic? Over 50.
Was this supposed to be about marriage?
Over
Oh
50.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You brought me in. Oh, you're
Gone
so-
down another rabbit hole there.
But it was about
Rabbit hole with that's like throwing a hot dog down the
hot dog down the hall.
Oh, wait.
You can tell I grew up in the Midwest.
I'm gonna
know,
use
I'm
that
like-
now though. Hot
You
dog
never
down
heard
the
of? Oh
hallway.
yeah. But it's so if someone has dated a friend, someone, especially if you dated in college, I could care less. If
No, I think I think you have to say more recent, because if you dated somebody and they at college and now again we're talking right now like over 50. If somebody dated you in college, then I wouldn't care about that. I think it's more like
Well,
recent.
how about this? Instead of that rabbit hole, let me ask you, Ulysses,
Okay.
because I feel like a lot more women are more open to marriage than men,
okay,
and even commitment. Because over 50, do you really need marriage? No, but you probably really want commitment.
Well,
So,
or you need the benefits that marriage and legal partnership can give you
that's
as you
nice
go into
too.
older years.
But what would make you pop the question?
what would make me? That was a good question. Now you got me on the spot.
Ooh.
What would make?
We know who's watching this.
Asking me now, I'm just kind of getting my life back together.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
So I think once I'm back
Yeah.
full, I had,
Feet are kind of on more solid ground.
yeah, I just need to, get myself together, understand just who I am. I have to redevelop who I am. What
Yeah.
I'm technically no longer a dad, so I lived that life. So I'm like, okay, it's just me.
Yeah.
What am I doing? But I'm not against. Like I said, I can see myself being married in the next couple of years. I can't imagine being 60 and I'm dating. I'm
Yeah.
trying to go out to I don't see myself on Match.com trying to find someone. If I was, not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not for me. And I've seen friends of mine who are older who, have been married 2 and 3 times. I'm talking about male friends of mine.
Yeah.
And they're still, they're still looking or they're still out, and which is fine for them. I just don't see myself, and I can see as I'm getting older, I can see certain patterns
Right.
that I have. So, who knows? I did a thing on Facebook that showed what was going to be what's going to be happening in your next 3 or 4 years in your life. And mine, it showed 2023 marriage. I think 2024 a baby.
Oh.
Somebody.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
I saw it too, but I was like, baby?
It was cause friends of mine were like, whoa. I think I would be too old for a infant.
Right.
But
I have a question about that, though. So, because being over 50 and trying to date men, that have the same energy level as me, which usually means that that's what's really hard to find.
Right.
Unless you're looking at somebody that's younger.
Yeah.
But if you're over 50, and do you have friends that have gotten remarried to like younger women and have little kids running around?
yes.
And are they happier?
Yeah. I have a friend he was married before, had some kids with him. He's the same age I am. Got divorced, married someone younger. They've had either 2 or 3 kids. I've never seen him happier.
Oh, that's good.
He's extremely happy. I remember when he did it, some of our friends were like, you're starting over. But I think he missed a lot with his first wife that he is doing. And you can see on his Facebook, because I remember when he was first married, his first wife, she, she was, this might not say their names, she was a little bit more rigid than, and he's more outgoing, fun, traveling, with, family, things like that. So I think when you get married younger, and I can tell you for me, the things you're looking for as a man when you're younger are totally different than what you're looking for now.
Well, what are you looking for now?
Now I still have a visual person. Like, you can't be busted.
I agree with that, though.
Yeah.
I gotta be like, you can't
for the rest of your life.
I know. I want to be looking at something
and it has
appealing.
to be somebody like when I wake up, they look nice. Like, it can't be someone that has to put on I was dating her, like the makeup. Who are you?
Yeah. Real talk.
They have to be someone I think is in my corner when things are good, when things are bad. I also, I want a companion, someone to travel with, someone that likes doing the things I do. Maybe I wouldn't mind her. Maybe her being a little obedient would be cool.
Oh my God.
A little obedient,
Obedient or respectful?
Okay, we'll use that word, respectful.
Are you going to be respectful back?
Oh yeah, extremely. But the other thing is they have to cook. I do have old ways.
So you're like, I will come home and dinner will be on the table kind of guy?
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, is that a deal breaker?
It doesn't have to be every day, but
that's kind of a deal breaker.
I kind of because I grew up that way. My mom cooked every day. My grandmother cooked for my grandfather every day. And so I'm like, I mean.
But what if she doesn't want to make dinner, or what if making dinner means that she doesn't want to have sex later on that night because she's just tired?
So that would mean, what if I don't want to take the trash out or cut the grass?
You're going to compare that to sex?
No, if you don't want to cook.
I cook and take my
No, I'm talking about all within the same night.
Right.
Okay.
If within the same night you worked all day,
I take the sex.
You cut the bed, cut the grass, and now she wants you to actually take off the garbage, more again.
I mean, I'm just saying these are things that I guess I'm more of a traditionalist. There's there's things that men should do for the house, things that women should do.
No.
So I would never.
You agree?
Roles and responsibilities, and it's not so much attached to your gender. It's more that at the end of the day, we have to eat tonight.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I would cook. Like I grill and all those things.
Someone has to
See,
clean,
I look at it as though that's what I look at
it
as
as for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're both working, and I think when you talk about the traditional role, traditionally it was, the wife had the kids and was at home and the husband went out to work and came back.
Right.
But now you have both parties working, and sometimes you may have the wife who has the bigger job and makes more money. Yeah. So if you're both working a hard day, getting home, you're on your cells, you say, okay, cell phone's down. why isn't it that everything isn't equally, or I can understand maybe not totally equal, just like you said, the trash and whatever.
Right.
There's certain things as a woman that I would do, but you know, wouldn't you want something, or how would you react if you had like a ball buster woman who wanted some equality in terms of splitting stuff up?
You mean like she's gonna change the light bulbs?
Possibly, if you cook dinner.
That probably is not gonna happen. You can, when you go to a woman's house as single, you always see light bulbs out. Always. They're never changing the high light bulbs. But no, it's not. You know, it's. Let me just get back to answer the question. It's not a deal breaker. I do. And the question you asked, would I rather her cook or have sex? I'd rather have sex. I could eat some chips or make some popcorn. I can get over that. So, and on that note, we're gonna have to take a break, people. We'll be back. We gotta pay some bills.
Get some chips.
We get some chips. We gotta use the bathroom. Do all those things. We'll be back. Hey, we're back. All right, we're back. It's the 811-522-420 crew. So we're back. We're talking about marriage over 50, and this is like something during the break. We came up when we thought about is, if you get married after you're 50, do you take your husband's last name? You know, considering you have a career, you've been working under this name all this time. So do you take his name? So Sharifa, we see that you have taken his name, which I'm in agreement with. I think they should.
Well, you said something before about being a traditionalist. I'm a hybrid. There are some parts of me that are very modern, and there are some parts of me that are very traditional. And that is a traditional question to me. If I don't love the man enough to take on his last name, then I'm not going to marry him. Yeah, I have friends that think just the opposite. I have family members that think just the opposite. But for me, you know, taking on a last name kind of signifies to the world that you are a package. You are a unit.
Yeah.
You are a married couple. It kind of forces other people to recognize your marriage. When you're traveling, it just doesn't feel real if, you know, he is Anzi Elam and I'm Sharifa Gregory. Right. And then they got to look for your ring. Right. And, you know, you got to do the best work. It's like, Mr. and Mrs. Elam. Got it.
Right. I love that.
So for me, again, you know, coming down to that wire decision, over 50, do you get married again? Part of that equation is, am I willing to change my identity?
Right.
Because marriage is a change of identity. You are a unit. You are not yourself anymore.
Did you change your name at work?
Yes.
Really? So I do know women who've gotten married over 50. At work, they have not changed their name. Like their email still says the same.
I didn't for two reasons. One, at the time, my kids were in school, and they were going to be going to college soon, and we were touring colleges, and they said, you know, if you want financial aid, you need to have the same last name as them.
Oh my.
Otherwise, they're going to look to your new spouse and say, okay, we need your income as well.
Yeah.
Guesswork.
Yeah. But for me, also being working in television, like your name recognition is everything. The person's not going to pick up the phone unless they know your name. They're going to look at your resume if they don't know your name. So it's really hard to, like you said, you are changing into another person. But I did finally do it. And yeah, it just felt enlightening, but it was good.
That's. I'm sure. Was it a discussion you and Anzi had, or you just?
No.
Wow, that's good. Team Anzi. I am Team Anzi. I'm like, all right, that's good. That's because you hear, especially now, with the millennials, people getting married, they're totally against that as far as changing their name. You know, the woman changing her name, they feel that's a prehistoric caveman thing. But some things, you know, when you have children, it makes it, everyone has the same name. You know, you're like, oh, well, who's, you know, it kind of seems, to me.
You can have a monogram and like the labels on your well, we don't mail stuff anymore, but when you mailed, you see people a lot with a hyphenated.
But your name's not hyphenated either?
No.
All right, okay. All right.
Yeah, I
No,
love
my
that.
my old last name is now my middle name, so there is some traceability, if you will.
Right.
But
Your old...
Like my
my
middle
old last
name is
name
Whit-
was Gregory,
Right.
so now my middle name is Gregory.
right.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but
Because I don't think guys really understand. Like you have to go to social.
Oh,
there's a
it
and there's
is
a
a
whole
big
process.
thing.
You know, Social Security first, then this,
Passports.
passports.
I remember
like
that.
we almost couldn't
Yeah.
go out of our honeymoon was in
Yeah.
the Maldives, in Bali, I'm sorry, and we almost couldn't go because because the United States recognized me as Sharifa Gregory, and I was
right.
Sharifa Elam. Like,
Right.
how do what
yeah.
happens?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a big... I've heard those happen.
And it's a cross that we bear, and you don't.
I know. Again. So every once in a while, y'all need to cook dinner.
Oh, yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I grew up. I'm actually grilling. I want to say, Sharifa, this has been a
Yes.
great second episode. I'm glad we were able to continue. Maybe we might even have you and Anzi on together. I'd like to hear what Anzi has to say. I'm sure he's just, when I've seen him, he seems excited. So I'd love to hear his take on it from a man's version of his second marriage. But what we will be doing, we're gonna, in the next coming weeks, we're gonna start talking more about politics.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting into the political season and
Elections, November 8th.
November 8th.
Vote.
This is a big time to vote. You know, we're gonna see if there's a lot of things happening in the world.
Shift of power in
Shifting of
Congress.
powers.
Just today, Biden announced that he is going to run for election in 2024.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
So which just kind of brings us to our next poll, our poll that Carmen will be on the streets with, and our question is: would you only vote for a candidate just because they're the same ethnicity as you?
Wow, that's a
yeah.
deep one.
That'll be interesting. So we've, in the past couple of elections, we've had African Americans, we've had, and actually not even just ethnicity, we've had people of certain sexual orientation as well. So
Gender.
are you only voting for gender, race, do you look at
Nationality.
nationality? So we'll see. But like I said, Sharifa, it's been great talking to you.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
we'll have Anzi. We will have my permanent co-host, Mr. Jason Turner, back in the next couple weeks. We miss you, Jason.
Peace out.
Peace out. We'll see you. Love you.
Let's go, pick your feet up though. Let's go, pick your feet up though.